So, how you doing today? How are you coping? Hope you have not been frustrated. Hope you are still keeping up. And how far with your thinking? Are you trying to see the other side of the coin? Alhamdulillah, mashallah. Alright, so today we are looking at who owns the problem. The owner of the problem should solve it. Mashallah. I love the exclamation before the after the Alhamdulillah. Alaikum sister. Alaikum salam wa rahmatullah. Yeah, a sister, right? Okay. Barakallah. Allah. Alright, Bismillah Rahman Rahim. Moving swiftly on. Today's session, inshallah, as usual, is coming with um another principle you should know in your parenting. And if you are able to practice it, if you are able to implement it, it will save you the stress of yelling. And that is, who owns the problem? Okay. At times when situation arise, okay, before going there, is still to tell you that this is still building up on what we have been discussing, what we have been the mindset shift we've been having since the day one of this challenge. Okay, so now sometimes we concentrate on the children, sometimes we blame ourselves as well, probably after yelling or whatever it is. So now the point is, after you must have checked out, okay, what are the what is my child lacking, what habits do I need to help them develop. The day we were talking about our expectation, what expectation are you having on each child? Hope you are not placing an unrealistic expectation on the children, and the way you think of your children, the way you think of their habits. So now today we are talking about how to solve those problems. Probably you have detect maybe your thinking is affecting your judgment, which cause you to get angry, which affect your emotions, and now it causes you to yell. Or is it that your child needs to develop a particular habit to make them function well? Either ways, so we have to put on our detective hat, like we said yesterday. So far, what have been your observation? Are you the one with the problem, or are there some problem that is yours, and are there some problem that is from the children? Because you don't just have to identify, you have to solve it as well. So that's what we are doing today. Are you getting the gist? Hope I'm not sounding complicated. Alright, let me bring an example. There are some times that your reaction, your anger is coming from the point like you are exhausted. For example, let's assume you already have a long day, you are exhausted and all of that, and a child runs to you with their own issues and all of that, and you don't even know when you say, oh, you start screaming like, You get the gist. It happens, right? So now in that case, does the child have the problem or the mother that's been exhausted? Of course, it's the mother that needs to relax and get back her emotions and don't allow our emotions affect our relation, like our connection, our relationship with our child, no matter what. So now from that angle, that's the problem is from the um parents there. And there are some times when the problem is for the children. Probably the child just wouldn't listen. Probably the child just, there are so many things that could happen. So we need to detect, okay, all the expectation I'm having. Am I the one that have the thinking problem, or is my child that is not, for his or her age, he or she is not capable or coping enough? So what's the problem? What have we detected? And how are we going to solve it? Are you getting the gist, sister? I'm not seeing your response. I'm assuming you're not getting what I'm saying. Please let me know we are together. A minute, please. I'll be reading. Have fun, sisters. I have to quickly attend to something urgent here. Alright, I'm back. I'm sorry. Aha. Yeah, so we were talking about who owns the problem to solve it. So I was saying probably you are stressed. Do you need to relax? Do you have needs that you need to meet? If you have listened to mom rage, like what caused you to get angry, is a previous session available on the group. You can check it out later. So but the point I want to bring out here is, there's at times that what causes us to get angry is not really our child behavior. Our child behavior just a complementary, like it's something that probably it came at the wrong time. Oftentimes maybe we need help, maybe we are exhausted. Just like a new mom, for example. Let's use a new mom for example. You have a baby, you have a toddler, you don't have help, you do all the chores at home, and it's not seeming like anybody is giving you helping hand. Actually, naturally, is most likely that you would be yelling a lot, especially when your baby is now giving you sleepless night again. Subhanallah, your brain is not relaxed. You are in a situation where any little thing can get you, you know so you have to solve it, you have to work around it. Probably you need rest, you need sleep, you need help. Look for a way to solve it. If you don't solve that problem, you might find it difficult to control your temper. You might find it super difficult to not yell, because you are not even thinking straight. Is it not somebody that is thinking straight that will function well? Okay, it might be that you have lots on your mind, loads on your mind that you are dealing with. If this is it, it might also affect your you know your ability to control your emotions, to be in charge of your emotions. That even your child's behavior, that you naturally, maybe you have even prepared beforehand, like, okay, when my child behave like this is how I want to react. Because one of the way to keep you away from yelling is to prepare beforehand. Most likely habits, likely things that your child would do. If you have prepared your mind that, okay, if my child um misbehaves when we go out, I would not correct her in public. I will pull the child aside and try to talk one or two sense to the child. So, bye bye. So they continue to behave well before we leave. Bye bye. Thank you. Before we leave where we are, and so on. You must, you might that, but it is when you are of sane mind, that you are cool, that you are calm and collected, that you'll be able to recall what you have pre-planned. If you are not in a good state of mind yourself, if you are overburdened, overwhelmed, you are tired, you are stressed, and all of that, it might not make the process easy for you. So these are problems that you need to look within. Is there any one of them that you are battling with? You have to solve it. Just like somebody that is in depression, for example. I pray none of us face it, but it happens sometimes. So let's just assume somebody is depressed and you're telling the person to not hear Lord. At that point, the person is not even in their right frame of mind. You understand? So if this type of problems are available, you have to solve it. If you don't solve it, forget about all what we've been discussing or what we are going to be saying in future. Are you getting the gist? Because these are underlying problem that would not make what you want to do easy or achievable. Also, it might be the problem in case of our environment. Probably the child you are molding, the habit you are instilling. Maybe there are some other people, the environment that is affecting the children. You have to detect to solve the problem. Raising a child, you are just the only person that went into the labor room, and you know Allah used you as Sabbath to bring your child to this world. Are you the only person that would train the child, that the child will learn from? Of course not. You can't be living in a hole, right? You would live in an environment that a child will mix with others. And we even have some of us that lives with more people from that even make the whole thing more difficult. Are you getting the gist? That's why the Prophet Salam encourages us to look at our environment very well. Like, our environment has a lot to do in our life. Okay, so you have to look at the whole thing holistically, not just you and your child alone. Probably there are other external factors affecting. Solve the problem. Are you getting it, sisters? Because there are some external factors that might be making the whole process difficult. You will just be saying you don't want to yell, you don't want to yell. If you don't solve those problems, you will still be a yelling master. Hello. Sorry, please. Welcome, yes, sir. Welcome, Mama Mariam. Welcome, everyone. All right. Wa alaikum salam. Wa rahmatullah. Sometimes is it that there is a cartoon you have exposed the children to that is making them to misbehave, that you need to solve, that you need to take away? Could it be that there is a neighbor that they visit that is affecting them? There are so many other external factors that get in the way. You have to you have to look at the whole situation holistically to figure out other things you need to pay attention to and the problems you need to solve. You need to carry other people along. If you are trying to, okay, you are talking to your child, you are correcting your child, and someone, we say your word should be gold, right? And how will your word be gold when you are saying, oh Aisha, next time when you finish eating, you take your plate to the zinc, or where we are going to get it washed. You clear your surroundings, you wash your hand, all of that. And probably one of those days Aisha refused to comply, and you are trying to say, oh Aisha, Why don't you do this, that, blah blah blah? And then someone from somewhere is like, Aisha, don't mind your mommy. What's that? Leave the. Do you understand the gist? Did you know that Aisha would not, if Aisha hear this, wa alaikum salam. If Aisha hear this consecutively, he might not take you seriously. She might not take you seriously. Abdullah, stop what you are doing. And someone somewhere says that, oh, don't mind your mommy. Continue what you are doing, Joe. Don't mind your mommy. Do you know that's a problem? A big one at that. You just finish, you are disciplining your child, you are trying to mold, and someone is saying, don't mind your mommy. As in that phrase, hey. Okay. If there are people like that, you call them to order. It's a problem you need to solve. Barakallahu, a 10 months old, you should be bonding with him. You should be, he doesn't even know anything. Like, why would, well, it happens, but alhamdulillah, barakallahu, so it's time for change. Aha. Okay, so are you getting what I'm trying to say? You want to make sure your world is gold, and someone is trying to make you water down the fact that your world is gold. Is a problem. You have to solve it. If the environmental factor you need to take away, you have to take it away. If it's your own problem, you have to take it away. Are the children exposed to some things that are making it difficult for them to adjust in their behaviors, in their habits you are trying to help them to develop? You have to correct it. You have to work on it. You have to try your best to, the situation you can control. Definitely you can control all situations, but the one that is within your capacity, you should try your best and ask Allah for help in dua, and may Allah make it easy, inshallah. And if the problem is from the child as well, probably the child doesn't listen, so you solve the listening problem. You build their listening skills. You understand? The child doesn't see clearly. You have to detect what exactly is the problem. For something not to seem right, there will definitely be a problem. So that's why we are mothers, we are detectors. So you have to detect exactly where the major problem is coming from. So let's say from day one you've been trying. So today you find yourself yelling again. You can sit back and reflect. What just happened? Why did I yell? Where is it coming from? Okay? Why did I find out? Why can't I hold on? Is it that I'm stressed? Is it that sometimes you might be sick. If you are some of us, when we are sick, we can't control the urge. Any little thing you just snap on, like that. So, um, hope you got the gist and stuff. So today's task for us is that let's identify if we still persist, if we find ourselves up to this point, it's very difficult for us to control the urge to yell. You just find yourself yelling, then there is a problem you need to detect. And once you detect it, solve it. There's no need to procrastinate on it. Wa alaikum. Okay, sorry. All right. But like I said, I just want to recap on this thing is that remember that you are a teacher to your children. So when you see yourself as someone that wants to teach them, guide them, they are ignorant, they don't know anything, we would also, our thinking, like I've said yesterday, it will save us a lot of stress. So back to today's topic. So do we get the gist on the principle of he wants the problem should solve it? Uh, if you still find yourself yelling, try to notes what exactly the problem is, what just happened, what are the circumstantial so like what are the surrounding factors that cause you to finally yell again when probably you have tried first day, second day, third day you've not yelled. Then why did you yell again today? There must be something. Remember, we want to be the better version of ourselves. We want to try to eliminate all those things that might, you know, cause us to yell. Yelling is not just an act by itself, like there are other factors that cause it. We have talked about your thinking, we have talked about your expectation, and today we are talking about who owns the problem. Put on your detective hat, sisters, detect and solve the problem. Sure. So, any question, inshallah, today's session will be very brief because just that principle I want to share with you. So if you have any question, any challenges so far, have you been trying so hard and you still keep falling? What are the challenges? Let's bring it on, and let's make it a an interactive session for the next few minutes before we round off today's session, inshallah. Yes, subhanallah. There's one major point I haven't mentioned. Ya salam. Alhamdulillah, I saw it now. Okay, which is that yes, one of our own problems sometimes is that we don't give clear and concise instructions. Our children don't even know what we are saying. I've always said it, but I'm saying it again. Aisha is not even, Aisha, sometimes our instructions is not very clear. Let us always be concise, direct. Aisha, get their attention, then come here. Not that you are yelling from afar, or you are just saying come here, come here, come here. Get their attention. Get their attention, be concise, and make sure your instruction is clear. Yes, sometimes we don't give clear instructions, so that might be our own problem we need to solve. Make your instruction clear, concise, and direct. Stop using ambiguity. Stop asking questions and say that you are giving instruction. Won't you come here? Come here is come here. What's the meaning of won't you come here? Can't you see I'm talking to you? I am talking to you. Aisha, I'm talking to you. Pick up that plate. Abdullah, take the ball outside. Won't you take the ball outside? Can't you hear me? Oh, you're asking questions. Make your instruction direct. Your words are gold. Make it direct, concise, precise. You don't have to talk too much, talk at length. Make it short, clear, direct, simple. So subhanallah, alhamdulillah, remember. So that's some of the one of the problem we parents have. So what do you think? I think, is it more of an habit? Sometimes it might, it's not easy to break an habit. A habit, sorry. So if it's a habit, you need to solve it. That's what we are talking about. If you have a problem, we have to solve it. It's not easy, something we've been doing for a long time. It should be an habit. It should be a habit already, which we have to solve. How do I join the podcast? This is the podcast platform. Or she's not live. I don't know. This is the podcast platform. Probably she hasn't joined the call yet. May Allah make it easy. Remember, this is a a war against Shaitan. Shaitan don't want us to grow. He don't want us to get better. But we have to fight it. What can you do about a child that communicates with cry? If she wants something, she cries to get your attention. Yes, thank you for this question. This is another problem. Now the problem is that this child does not know how to communicate. So you have to see this is the problem, is the child's problem now. And because probably the child is still very young, I guess, because from this it happens to toddlers more often times. And if you don't manage it well in their toddlerhood, it will go with them to their preschool, like when they get to 5, 4, 5, and so on. Okay, toddlers are below 3 years old. So in this case, the child, the way we teach children ABCD, we need to teach them about their emotions. Let them know their what happy means, sad means, what, and let them know. Tell them, let them express themselves. If you detect what they need, teach them the next time that, oh, you want water, tell mommy would want water. Let them know, say it repeatedly, nicely. In this house, we don't communicate with cry. When you need something, you ask them with words. Teach them. Because the child don't know how to express themselves. Teach your children vocabularies. Teach them, guide them. As time goes on, they will get it. Let me tell you, this thing I'm saying, you might think it's impossible. Wallahi, I've even tried it on a child that was less than 2 year old as a den, and wallahi, it worked. One thing you will do is that when that child is crying for that thing, you would validate their emotions first. Oh, Aisha, oh, I can see you are trying to communicate, you are trying to get something, but they can't help it. We don't communicate with cry in this house. Like, we don't communicate with cry, we communicate with words. Let me know what you want, and until you are ready, you see, I'm not harsh, I'm not yelling, I'm explaining myself concisely, precisely, and clearly. Until you are ready to tell me exactly what you want. Or what I do again is that I will walk along with the child. Oh yeah, show me what you want, then he will point. Okay, yeah, oh, I will understand, then we do it. So as time goes on, the child will realize that trying will never solve the problem, will never make you respond until they are ready to express themselves, and teach them how to respect. If you have to, you see all these things for your consistency. That's another problem. Thank you for this question. That's another problem. Maybe on your own part, consistency is the problem. You need to solve it, because some people will say some principles is not working. It will not work because you are confusing your child. Today you say A, tomorrow you are saying B again. If you want to stand on A, for Allah's sake, stay on that A and maintain your lane. Your child, they are not robots like we used to say, they are human. So like you too, you are finding it, like you too, you are trying to adjust to this no yelling. It's not like from just day one you just stop yelling. You will make mistake, you will correct yourself. That's it, that's what we are saying, consciousness. So your child too is trying to adjust. It doesn't mean the day, because that's another mistake. We want magic, that once we just tell them like this, they should just bam get it. No, they are humans, they will process it, they will adapt, they need to form that new habit. So it might not work the first time, second time, but trust me, if you are consistent and all of that, the child will pick up and will get the gist, and that will solve it. Because if we don't solve the problem, it will keep on going. And that crying is also some of us triggers. It triggers us, that it makes us uncontrollable. Okay, what do you do when you tell a 17-month to stop doing something or carry the child away from there, but the child goes back fully knowing you don't want them to go there? They are testing you. That's children, and that is human. They are testing you. So is there any consequence available? And if that thing that they are going back to can be removed, that's actually the best thing. But if it can't, then there should be something that will deter the child away. But naturally, for children of that age, it is normal, but they will outgrow it. If you are consistent with your instruction, taking them away, they would outgrow it. Except you are tired and you just overlook it. That's the only time that You stay with them. Inshallah. It's not easy. Yes, we have support of Allah. Nothing good comes with ease. Oh, I hope you know that. It's only bad thing that is always very easy to do. Have you noticed that too? Okay, alhamdulillah. Wa alaikum salam. Welcome, sister. You have to, it's not easy. You have to be firm and so many other things. Barakallahu fi alhamdulillah. Is it normal for a 2-year-old baby to pee and poo on himself? You said 2-year-old now. Alhamdulillah, barakallahu fi. I'm just reading this one, Sister Hanifa. Alhamdulillah. You have to be consistent. Wallahi, it would work. Let's trust the process. Consistency. Sometimes we ourselves we confuse the children. You say one tomorrow, next tomorrow you do another thing. Then if your boss is doing like that, for example, let's assume you work under someone or your spouse is doing like that, doing like irregular verses, for example, you'll be confused, like, okay, what should I do today? They don't know which one to do that would, so we have to be consistent. That is why I used to encourage you, write what you want. Let it be visible. Look at it often because you might forget. Life happens. We have so many things on our mind these days. A 2-year-old, if you have not trained them to use the potty, definitely they will pull and wee on themselves. That's natural. Even if you have trained them, there are some times when they will make mistakes for that age. It is natural. So you have to work on that, Sister Zinat. So that's the problem. So that's what I'm talking about. You see, all this thing all this you are bringing on as something that will cause you to yell. Wallahi, that's just what that I said it. We need to think as parents, as mothers especially. We don't just have to react. Our lack of thinking is what makes us to react. At that moment when you see that situation, let me give you one practical advice. You can just pause and observe the situation, then go back and think about it. What was wrong? What should I have done right? What was wrong on the part of the child? Detect, then solve it. So for this errand, there might be situation solutions to it. You understand? If you think, sit back, you are going to find way out. And in fact, I know you have so many tools to use already. So you just need to sit back and reflect because you are in the private membership. Exactly what I said. Okay. My 15-month-old has cultivated the habit of slapping everyone and biting as well because her half sister has been biting her in the past. You see, this is a problem and you have to solve it. You understand? May Allah make it easy. My 4-year-old is lazy when it comes to writing and his teacher always complain. He cries when you ask him to write and it triggers me. I hope you don't beat that child. Have not even finished saying it before I saw beat. See, hey, okay. Hmm. See, you people with beating children under 5 because of writing, I don't know. You people should go and be using what's it called? Is there school something to cool you people's this thing? Maybe the boy you see now you that's were you here yesterday? Have you listened to the replay of yesterday? Is our thinking. You are the one that think that the child is lazy. The child might need help. Why don't you think it that maybe the child muscle is not enough to hold the pen properly? Maybe why don't you look at problem and solve the problem? Sorry, and provide solution. Maybe the child still needs to do more pre-writing skills. They need to exercise their limbs. Why don't you give the child colorful pens? Let's see how he or she will behave. Okay, it's Mohad, I remember now. Let's see how he would behave. Let's see how he would respond. Let's shorten the length of what he wants to write. Why don't no try other thing? Let's think. Don't let us think he's lazy. 4 year old. Eh? Is our thinking, because we have seen it one way, it will affect the way we see. That is why you beat him. Stop beating and see it from another angle. Change your thinking. That was what we talked about yesterday. And if you change your thinking, you will find the problem. And when you find the problem, today we are saying the person that owns the problem should what? Solve it. Because it's not enough to just detect the problem. You have to solve it. That's when you have breakthrough. And that problem will be forever solved. Then you move on to something else. So please look, be more attentive. There must be something beyond maybe what you are saying. So I used to say it and I'm saying it again. I've attended not one, not two paid, as in premium paid writing sessions. Go and read it. Writing experts will never encourage you to force children below 5, 6 years old to write. Not even, writing is like crawling, sitting, walking for these children. There are some muscles that needs to develop fully. And remember, growth in all these children differs. The child was able to talk faster doesn't mean their writing limbs will be strong faster. They must be talking. Why don't we use that time and focus on the strengths of that child and develop that one they are lacking? It's not only in writing, there are so many other things that we also, our thinking gets on in our way. So if you are thinking the child is lazy, definitely, naturally, is going to get us angry. But if we see it as okay, maybe the child needs a problem, it has a problem, not a negative problem, not a huge problem. I'm just saying has something, a skill that they needs to learn. Aha, then we will be able to focus on that skill, develop it, and we solve the entire problem in a lab. I ask my 4 year old daughter to wash herself sometimes when I'm very busy. Well, I was able to achieve that around age 5, and it was very cool. Before, like around this year too, but I can't remember. But it still boils down to the child. If the child is able to cope, why not? Every child have their own developmental milestone. You said I've not answered your question. I've answered it. I said there will be a problem to it. There must be something. Maybe it's the way you request her to come and do the thing. There might be sometimes, yeah, I also learned something recently. You don't It's not every time that we make these children see that we want to send them message or something. You can say it like, come and assist me, come and help me, like an assistant, something like that. Aha, it helps as well. And aside that, you can sit her down and let her know the habit is wrong. Can talk to her. She's not a baby anymore. Talk to her, and if she's not listening, maybe there should be a consequence to her action. But first, make sure the connection is right and some other problem that might be there solved. And if not, there should be a consequence for her to follow. Yes. So where was I? I'll be taking one last question after this, inshallah. My 2 month old cries a lot. 2 months. Okay. But with other people she cries all the time. Mhm. But with me she keep calm, which made me realize nothing is really happening to her, and those are the people that will still help carry her when I resume work. Please, what can I start doing from now? I sincerely don't know, because naturally a child of that age would crave for their mother, especially because they want breast milk and all of that. For that, we have people that have experience and suggestions. share. Me, I'm always home with them and all of that. We are always together. So I actually don't have that experience. So if you have moms in the house that probably they are working before 3 months they resume work, what are the hacks you've done? You can share it. I do not have that experience personally. I'm not anyone close to me. And someone close to me, I actually I don't know. Okay. It's normal, your child is 2 year old though. Hey, that's what we are saying. Oh. Were you here on the second day? Our expectations on our children, it affects us as well. Keep training, it's just 2 year old. Yes, we have children that might learn faster, but that doesn't make them what's it called? Make them less of what, how will I put it? Just keep training. 2 year old is still a baby, wallahi. Naturally, a 2 year old just need to should have just finished sucking milk now. They should still be taking their natural milk at that age, like age 2. So they have just transited from being a baby that just finished suckling, to starting to, you understand. So let's let's be patient. There are some children um that learn potty training, that get the gist. They don't get it until they are 3, and there are some got that until they are 4 years old. I'm telling you. So just keep it up. Since you are training, continue. Make sure you are making the child find it easy and not scary. Being a lie, you will get there. I have answered the question of a child that is crying. Probably you go through the replay. I have to answer this question. No, she's a premium member. My 3 year old, when you ask her to do something, she just told you I will not do it. When you keep quiet for a while, then she will do it. When you talk again, this is quite funny. When you talk again, she will not do it. But when you keep quiet, she will do it. What triggers me is her unnecessary crying for everything. And it happens when she starts school. She likes spilling water everywhere. It triggers me. Actually, children also learn from their peers. So maybe she has seen something a child does and she wants to try it with you. Children try us a lot though. They practice what they've seen other children do with you. They want to see your reaction and all of that. Okay? So I wouldn't know why she's when you talk she pause, and when you talk again she would. That's very funny, but I believe with time you would not stop. Probably later, not that moment. Because yes, there when you are angry, if anybody is correcting you, you most likely will not even understand what they are saying. Just like when you see two people fighting and they are drawing the other person, you say leave me alone, I want to fight. Let me finish. That that point they will not listen. So later, after the whole scenario, you might just be quiet and let her, if the thing she's doing is not something that will be, the outcome will be, it will affect anybody or affect her or her. So later you can keep talking to her. That is good for children to listen. In fact, you can play out a video of a child that refused to listen and the consequence she met, something like that. Guide her to be a good listener. Let her know that it's for her own good, but that will be when everyone is okay, not at that point. You understand? That's the point. So it will help. And for crying, I've said it and I'm saying it again. Let If they know that you will not answer them when they cry, they will learn. And you too, you should teach them how to communicate properly with you. As time goes on, you will see that age also affect all these things. Wallahi. As time goes on, when they keep getting older, they understand you better, they understand their own emotions better if you teach them well, and things will get to change, you understand. As time goes on, they would change, they would join, they would, sorry, they would I saw join now. And they would upgrade, they would learn. It's easier. You see, all these things, wallahi, they are not mature. We are the one that we are grown ups. We are the one that we are thinking that they should know, they should this. They don't know. So they, as time goes on, when they grow up, wallahi, they would adjust. In as much as we keep up our training, we don't get tired, we keep correcting, we keep explaining, but make sure don't always try to correct a child when they are angry and all of that. The best thing you want to do at that point is to what? Who can answer that question? What would you love somebody to do to you when you are angry? Aya. I've actually answered more than the question I promised. So we have carryover questions today. I actually have something to catch up with, inshallah. All of you, 2 year old, 3 year old, they are baby, 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 they are... How can I say it again? Okay, let me see your response. To pet me, keep calm, let me cool off, there's understand. Thank you. You want somebody to understand you. You want someone to validate how you feel. Because the thing is, nobody even understand how I'm feeling. Is that not what we say? Nobody even cares. Nobody cares. Nobody even try to understand me. Can you understand what I'm trying to say right now? They want you to understand them. That's the first thing. Don't you get it? Exactly. So you want to validate their emotions. Most of us don't do that. We think that if we do that is ayo, we are spoiling them. No. In fact, that is a great connection tool. Expo that I'm giving you is a very great connections tool. If you want to have a, just imagine that I used to use spouse a lot because it's very relatable to almost every one of us. Just imagine you have a bad day, you are just, everything is not just coming, and here your husband comes with another thing and you are trying to, and it's just like he's not just trying to understand you, he's just saying what he wants. You will feel so heartbroken, subhanallah. Or you have a superpower that will not make you feel heartbroken. Hey, you will feel heartbroken, my sister. So that is just the way. Or now imagine that man now, you know calm you down, draw you close and be like, oh sorry, there are days like that, I understand how it feels. Yeah, there are days we feel that way, it's normal. Sorry dear. How will you feel? In fact, if that man has offended you before and you said you are not going to forgive him, at that moment your heart will melt. Even if in future you can remember again and start from where you stopped though, or will your heart is your if unless your heart is made with stone oh, your heart will melt, you will forget everything that he has done. You understand? So that's the similitude of our children. That's just it. The way when they are feeling down, like they are also facing emotion, and now you two, you are now shouting, what's wrong with you? The whole thing is just getting uglier. It doesn't mean you are going to do I don't know if you get. Okay, for example, that child is crying because they want you to give them chocolate. Just imagine the person is this person online, like Is she listening to me? Please, how can someone control hearing? She has also asked the question earlier. Can she hear me? I don't think, I'm not sure if okay, the person is live. I've seen her. She's live. That's what we are talking about, sister. We are talking about how not to yell. You can go through the pre-recording of the earlier first 3 days is pinned above. Someone can help me highlight it if you can, so you can catch up, inshallah. And this recording will only be available in the next, as long as the um challenge lasts. I thought I wouldn't, I said I wouldn't make the recording available, but I changed my mind. But inshallah, this one you will not have it after. That one is sure. There's no change mind in that one. Okay, back to what we are talking about, inshallah. Thank you, sister. Thank you, Abdul Mohsen. Okay, so as we were saying, the same thing goes to our children. Wallahi, one of the great connection tools is when these kids are battling with their emotions. Naturally, what happens to us too is that we get angry. We are not supposed to get angry. Just put yourself in the situation of the children. And as I was saying, it doesn't mean that you are going to end up doing what they are crying for. Are you getting it? You just acknowledge, you just validate. Oh, Abdullah, I'm sorry you feel this way. I'm sorry for, and just, oh, I know how it feels. Oh, sorry dear. That doesn't mean you are going to give him the what he wants. If he was asking for a toy and crying because of the toy, oh, you can't have the toy now. You have to be firm. You are kind and firm at the same time. Are you getting the gist? Because the one that will be that you bomoje, you spoil a child, or you, how going to express it in English language? Yoruba will say oh your bomoje. In other language you say whatever it is. But in English, like a spoilt child, yeah, that's the language. So is when the child is crying, and we say you should validate. We did not say you should give in. They are two different things. Validating your emotion, that I validate how you feel, doesn't mean you are going to have your way. There are two different things. Oh, don't get it twisted. So you are disciplining the child, and you are still firm. You are still nice towards the child. You don't have to lose your temper. So you validate their emotion, and it's a great way to connect to them. And that doesn't mean the first day you do it they will get it, like I always say. So yeah, so you don't have to let them have their way. That thing that you have said you are not going to do, you have to be firm. But their emotions, the way they feel, you should validate it for them, that yes, it happens like this. So in this life that we are, there are times where you will cry, it's normal. There are times where you'll be happy. Yes, now it's normal, it's natural, since we're on earth. Till we get to Jannah, that may Allah make us people of Jannah. That is where we can be happy forever and ever. I mean, people of Jannah, I mean, Ya Rabbal Alameen. Imagine, Alhamdulillah, I'm very glad to read this. Wallahi, it helps a lot, and it boosts your connect. In fact, it boosts your, when you are at the lowest point and someone comes give you hand, oh dear, you will fall in love with that person. You will put the person in a very high place in your heart. So that was what we are talking about. Okay. So when your children are sad, they are crying, it's not the time for you to also get angry. Remember, call yourself to attention. For the people in this thing, you should understand what you should do. Mashallah. I'm happy to hear this, Sister Aisha. Alhamdulillah, barakallah fi. Okay, oh, you people should come and buy you. Time has gone. I should sell my market before I leave here. Alright, so all what we are talking about, yes, they still goes along with some other tools, other parent. There are so many parenting principles that when you know Bidnillah, your life will become easier. You will know that parenting doesn't have to be um Mashallah, barakallah fi. I'm so glad to read this, Sister Doniya. Mashallah. So you get, parenting is one of the most difficult tasks you will ever take up. But it becomes more difficult when you don't even have a bearing, when you don't know what to do next. You understand? So that's why the Radio Moms Haven is here for you. You can see how this challenge is going. You have other people, you see you are not alone. Wallahi, all this problem, it is a general problem. There is nobody that would say that, me, oh, in my own parenting, my children, they are just perfect. And me, myself, I am a perfect human being. Who is that person? Even my mentor Khadija, she has children that are very old, like teenagers that in fact I think a young adult, or how will I put it? They are still saying teenagers and older children throw tantrums. So they are still having challenges. So who are we? So, and please, when you see your 2 year old, less than a year, even 3 year old, even up to like 7, I'm not saying you should not discipline your children for Allah's sake. Up to like 5, let me bring it down. 6 years old or boy, they are more wiser and all of that. They are still baby. You should remember you need to teach them. Come to the region from Avon. Come and subscribe. You will have access to you. Listen to it when you want. All right. May Allah make it easy. Okay, earlier today he insisted he wants to put on a particular shoe to school. He was crying. But the moment I told him it was for party, he stopped crying and what do you should Wallahi, this thing is just a matter of your mindset. Wallahi. This thing is the children. Okay, I want to ask you a question. Let's be fair. If we cannot handle children when they are 2 year old, 3 year old, all of that, what will happen when they get into their teenage years that is more difficult? Everything is allowed, but we are talking now based on human and what with normal sense. A 2 year old, 3 year old, what power do they have? Now talking of teenagers. So from now, make sure your words are golden. There is a lecture on potty training here on this platform. You can scroll up to check. I think episode is it between 11 and 15. You should find it if I'm not mistaken. Of the weekly podcast. Inshallah. Alright. I think I was saying something but I get distracted. Coming, let me do the most important task. Alright, so how's it going for you at your end? Do you think it is possible for you to detect the problem and solve it? I told you this is not like your usual challenge where you would hear do this today, do this tomorrow. This is about your mindset. Your mindset have to change. You have to know exactly what to do. Strategies, principles that would be with you. I didn't get your question. No. Okay, yes, I was talking about when they get to things. So we should make sure right from day one, right from now, our words are golden. Actually, parenting in every stage is work. Oh. But when they are young like this, it actually requires our physical involvement more. When they get older, it's more emotional. So it's emotional stress by then. May Allah not give us emotional problem. I mean, I hope you get the gist. Now you have to teach them. You have to till then you are still teaching them. Oh, but the teaching now they don't know how to talk. They don't know how to express themselves. You have to help them do this. You have to help them do that. Blah 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 and all of that. They don't know yet, but then they know already. In fact, there are some things you feel you have taught them that they shouldn't do, and you see them doing that, you be like, hey, ya salam, may Allah make it easy. We have been there now, we've done it as children. So, sisters, if you have children that you're finding it difficult for them to teach them how to read, you have a 5-year old, 6-year old, 7-year old, they can't read, then here is a course for you to teach your child how to read perfectly at home. Teach your child at home, being a parent and maintaining being their teacher as well. Even when your child is going to school, you need this course to help them unleash their maximum potential. So you can get the homeschool starter toolkit for 5,000 naira, or the step-by-step guide to teach your child to read at home, 5,000 naira, or you get both of them for just 8,000 naira. And you can upgrade to the Rare Gem Moms even private parenting membership, where you get ready-made resources, your parenting tools, guide, and all of that. With 3,005 monthly, you can join the Avenue shop. Alright, so I was out, I'm back. So how can one re-strategize when they are now in teens? And that's not the point for now. The point for now is that he who owns the problem should solve it. So your task today is to monitor your children. Be conscious. We've said it right from the onset. The goal is consciousness and not perfection. You can't be perfect. No one is perfect. You understand? So you have to be conscious of your actions, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy. And we are going to be drawing the curtain here, bismillah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept it as an act of ibadah and make it easy for us all. So, okay, I'm just saying this. He said when they are now in teens and one is just getting this. Well, well. The first thing is to ask Allah assistance in prayer, and of course, you start from where you picked up from where you are actually. And the first step is to actually connect back with these children. For every relationship, the most important core is connection. So that's what I'll say here today, and we'll talk about that much later. I don't have a team yet actually, but of course, I have people that do, and I have mentors that do. Okay, so from their experience, I can share with you if you have the need to. Okay, but one thing for sure that I know they talk about a lot is that connection is very important. Connection is very important, and you can't control them like you would control these children. That is another level entirely, another stage entirely that requires its own approaches. But the first thing is connection, and you have to, you have to go close, get close to them. May Allah make it easy. Barakallahu fi. If you have younger ones, you can focus your energy of this one we are learning now on those ones. And there are some principles too that would definitely work. And it will work. It's just that your application and the way you are going to go about it will be different, because now you are talking about children that you can control them. You understand? You can tell them sit here, sit that. But when they are teenagers, you have to be careful in your use of control so you don't damage things. Aha. There are ways to go about it. And at that stage they can even Let me keep this one. All right, sisters. Barakallahu fikum. See you tomorrow, inshallah, for another exciting episode. I can cite Sister Aisha Uthman. Can cite you. I'm just saying you actually. Welcome everyone actually welcome. Thank you for showing up for yourself. Barakallahu fi. And actually you can pay twice for the starter toolkit. Yes, you can pay twice and you have access to the course once you are done. Allah knows it has been more than subsidized. Barakallahu fi. Actually, the homeschool starter toolkit is still 5,000 naira, but to get it together with the what's it called, the step-by-step guide is when it is 8,000 naira. The step-by-step guide itself is also 5,000 naira, so I've subsidized the two for you to make it easier, and you can pay twice, inshallah. Right? Barakallahu fi. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdik. Inshallah.